pathogen purge. On week 4, we are going to start with a 4-day fast, and we're going to do that with bone broth. So she actually has a handout, and she does give you a few options. She has one for a vegetarian, and she has another for maybe you have like thyroid or adrenal problems, autoimmune conditions, something that you may need a little bit of food and not do a complete fast. She has protocols for that too. I'm going to do the bone broth fast, just liquid, because I am very familiar with fasting. I actually prefer a water or a dry fast, but I will follow the protocol. So I am doing 4 days of bone broth. She also gives you a recipe to make your own, but I actually get this from Costco. It is grass-fed beef as well. So this is just easier for me. And you do it 3 times a day. I think it's 16 ounces. And then in between you do like two green drinks. I don't want to call it juice because there is no sugar, but you kind of do a little bit of green in between. And so it's essentially like a liquid fast. So we are jump starting the pathogen purge, right? So we're trying to starve it from the sugar feeding bacteria. We're trying to starve them out, right? We're trying to heal the gut. We're trying to improve immunity. So this is just kind of a jump start to that. And then we move on to the supplement protocol, and then we keep doing the healthy food of just vegetables, low starch, low sugar, no caffeine, healthy protein, organic chicken, grass-fed beef, wild salmon, and a healthy fat, avocado, coconut oil, tallow, ghee, right? So all these nutrients that are going to soothe inflammation and really help support the pathogen purge during this process. We're also going to implement, she recommends either colonics or coffee enemas or saltwater flush. So I am doing a saltwater flush, and essentially for me, it is 1 tablespoon of salt in a liter of water. So you want to ensure that there is enough water and salt ratio that the salt water actually exits through the intestines without being absorbed into your body. So we don't want to hold on to this. So you start with 2 teaspoons and kind of see how it goes. 1 tablespoon works well for me, but essentially it's going to cleanse the bowels, but it's also going to help the small intestines flush out unwanted bacteria. So this is another cleansing detoxification method that is going to cleanse you in a way that you have never felt before. If you haven't done a saltwater flush before, it is kind of life-changing. The first time it's a little weird, a little scary. You want to be by a bathroom, so within 30 minutes to an hour is when you'll kind of start to feel it kick in, and you're like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom, almost like a diarrhea feeling, and then your stool might be black. It might I can't even explain it. I just want to warn you that it's a little odd at first, the first time you do it, and then you're fine and you want to do it again, because it's so cleansing, and it can go back years of stuff that has been in your intestines, essentially. Just so so you can do that, and that's going to do your entire intestines, and So that's the saltwater flush. So it's another detoxification method during this process. It works best when you are not eating, so it's going to work really good on the fasting days, and on the days that you're not fasting, you're going to do it 3 times a week, and that will be in the morning, so before food, and it's going to be intense in a good way. So another technique of detoxification that we're going to use during this protocol is oil pulling. So your mouth is full of bacteria, and if that bacteria, that unwanted bacteria, enters into the bloodstream, it can cause an array of health problems. So we are going to use raw coconut oil, cold press, unrefined, unfiltered, right? The good stuff. And we're just going to swish it in our mouth, and not really swish it actually. It's more like a pull, a push. So you're just really trying to work it in there. I like to do it while I am in the shower. I find that easiest and as convenient as possible because, you know, that's going to aid because coconut oil is an antifungal, an antibacterial, antiviral, right? So we're going to remove those, that bacteria during this detoxification, just to, again, implement as much as possible support to our immunity during this process. So we're also going to do a few other techniques like Epsom salt baths, along with the oil pulling, along with using a dry brush, if you guys have ever used one. So that helps with your lymphatic system, right? So your lymphatic system is responsible for collecting and transporting waste, right? So if there's congestion in that, then it can lead to inflammation and disease. So the dry brushing is going to stimulate the lymphatic system, so that's actually getting rid of the waste. So you would do upward motions towards the heart, always in an upward motion, starting from your feet, even in your arms. You can do circular motions around your stomach, near your intestines, and that is just going to really improve the circulation of the lymphatic system, which I know it seems silly. You do it before the shower, and it really does help stimulate that, because we want to get rid of those toxins during this time, right? So during this purge, we don't just want them to break down, but we actually want them to get rid of the body. So we'll also do tongue scraping as well to get rid of even more bacteria that doesn't happen when you just swish around a toothbrush. The tongue scraping, the oil pulling, the baths, the dry brushing, the salt water flushes, right? So all of these things are going to help support the detoxification process, and so we'll do those during step 2 and a little bit into to step 3, not all of them, but some of them, like the tongue scraping and things like that. So the oil pulling you will do for 21 days, and the dry brushing you would just do daily before you shower, and you honestly would continue doing that for life, essentially. Like, it's just really good and healthy. You guys can totally do it if you're not on the program, to just help your lymphatic system really stimulate and help get rid of those toxins, so that they're not congested, right? So you want to definitely transport the waste there. So those are just a few of the other detox techniques. There's a whole protocol of detox techniques that are included in the program. So a lot of the things that I'm telling you guys are things that I'm doing, and may not necessarily be for every plan or for everybody, or it's customized, right? So I want you to think that you can just like go and try and, I don't know, emulate this and be better. So you definitely would need her assistance and guidance in this, because you are going to have your own set of problems, your own set of immunity structures that need to be worked on. So I do want to preface that.